Hello everyone! So today's video is kind of like a mashup get ready with me and concert vlog, because last week I went to see the Boyz in Chicago and it was amazing, but I was very bad about actually getting footage, so I'll insert footage where I can and photos where I can, but for the most part I'll just kind of do my makeup and tell you about the whole experience. So that way it's kind of like documented somewhat. Because that is one of my regrets about both KCON and the 17 concert back in 2020. I didn't really document them outside of photos. So I think this would be kind of a fun way to do it, since I got more footage than I have for previous concerts, but I do not have enough to make a video just with that footage. So that's the plan. And I'm doing my makeup. I decided I'll do it kind of how I had it for the concert, just for fun. It's not going to be exactly the same though, because I honestly forgot how I did my makeup for the concert. It was a little bit of a blur. So let's just get into it. And yeah. And as usual, with my kind of more chatty get ready with me videos, all of the products I use I'll have listed down in the description. I'm not going to mention them name by name as I put them on my face. So yes. So the concert was last week, Wednesday, like I said. It was the... and it was such a good time. I woke up early that Wednesday. Initially, when they announced tickets for the Boyz, all of the American Dolby were really hoping that the US stops would have benefits similar to how the Europe stops. The Europe stops have, like, I believe a high touch option and like a VIP kind of something like that. There were perks to certain tickets, to put a long story short, because I don't remember exactly. But I forgot my mirror. Oh, I have one here. Okay, that'll work. So we were all kind of hoping that there would be benefits with the American tickets as well. Unfortunately, there weren't, so that was a little bit of a bummer. I think it might just be the company that was doing the tour, the Dreammaker company, but I don't know for certain. But initially, when they first announced the tour, my thought was, oh, because they had announced the Europe benefits already, so I thought, oh, I'll go in to Chicago the day before the concert, because I have that day off of work anyway, and then I will spend that night, and then I'll go to whatever, I was planning on getting whatever VIP option they had, whether that's like a sound check or early entry, you know, whatever it might be. That was the plan. But like I said, so I was initially going to go the day before the concert, stay that night, go to the concert the day of, and then leave the next night back to where I live. I'm lucky in that I have a train that goes right from my town into Chicago. So that's how I go into the city all the time, because I don't like driving in cities I'm not familiar with. Driving in general, not my favorite thing, but driving especially in big cities, even less of my favorite thing, and driving in big cities I'm unfamiliar with is my least favorite thing. So that's why I always take the train. So yeah, the plan was to do that, but then of course when they finally announced ticketing and everything for the American stops, there wasn't any option for VIP or sound check or anything like that. So I ended up just going that Wednesday. I took the train in early that morning. It left at like 6 something in the morning. Here's a photo of me in the car as soon as I got to the station. I sent it to my family, just be like, made it to the station, heading to Chicago. I took the train in, and I had called first thing that morning my hotel, and I asked them, hey, would early check-in be available? Because typically hotels only let you check in at 3 or 2 or 3, somewhere around there. That's their normal check-in time, but I wanted to see if I could check in early because my train was going to get in around like not 1 o'clock, around like 11ish. So I called and they said, yep, no problem, you can do early check-in. So go on the train, everything's fine. I'm pretty sure there were some people on the train that were also going to the concert, but I didn't talk to them to find out. It was just either they were going to the Boyz concert or they were going to a concert, and I don't know what other concerts were going on at the time, so I just kind of assumed that it was going to be the Boyz concert. I get to Chicago. I then get to my hotel, and my hotel was right by the venue, which was really nice. And I specifically picked that one because it was the one my mom and I had stayed at for KCON. This was actually the first concert that I went to like on my own. Previous concerts I have gone to with my mom, because both of the previous concerts I've been to in Chicago I was supposed to go to with my brother, but things happened and he wasn't able to make it. So my mom went with me. So this was the first time I was on my own. Anyway, I get to my hotel and I go to check in, and before I can even say, so I walk up to the counter, and before I can even say like my name or anything, I go, hi, hello, I'd like to check in. And the person goes, oh no, we don't have any rooms available. You're gonna have to wait until 2 or 3 at the, she said, how did she say it? You'll have to wait until 1 or 2 at the earliest. And I go, oh, okay. And I was so taken aback that I just walked out, because there's a Starbucks right in that area as well. So I just walked out and I went to the Starbucks. And I texted my family and I'm like, what's going on? I double checked and I was like, you know what? I'll drink my coffee. I'll get some coffee at Starbucks. I'll drink my coffee and then before I go back, I'll call them and see, just double check. Hey, I called earlier this morning. Is early check-in still an option? So that's what I ended up doing. Here's the picture of my coffee, and I ended up taking a bunch of photos with my photo card that I had in a photo card holder. So that's what the majority of the photos you're going to be seeing are. So that's what I ended up doing. I drank my coffee. I actually ended up painting my nails, which was kind of nice. And then I called the hotel and I was like, hey, my name's Jennifer. I called earlier. You guys said I could check in early. Just wanted to double check that was still an option. They looked me up and they're like, oh yeah, you're good to go. Whenever you want, you can stop by. So I pack up my things and I go back over to the hotel and I walk in and I said, hi, I have early check-in. And instead of saying, hey, I would like to check in, I thought, well, maybe if I specify I have early check-in already, that they're expecting me. And so that worked, and then they pulled me up and I was able to check in, no problem. My room was really nice. Here's a little clip of my room. And so pretty much right after that, I decided to start getting ready, like makeup wise, because I had told one of my friends that I would help them check into their hotel because they were under 21 still. And I was like, I don't mind checking in for you guys, because that's all that I really had to do was check in for them. Everything else was under their name. So I go and I'm starting to do my makeup, and I made a little TikTok. Follow me on TikTok, by the way. I rarely make content, but I sometimes do. Much like here, I sometimes do. But I pull everything out. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do my makeup. Everything's great. And I realize I forgot all of my face brushes for like my face makeup. So like every brush that I've used so far, I did not have. So I was like, well, guess we're gonna do what we can. So I had a few eyeshadow brushes that are like bigger, fluffier ones. And I was like, I guess that's gonna do for like spot concealing. My under eye concealer I used my fingers for. So yeah, I didn't really do foundation. I just used, like I said, an eyeshadow brush just to do the spots where I really felt like I needed it. And then blush and highlight I did with my fingers. And I didn't do bronzer. I'm gonna do bronzer right now because I look, on my little viewfinder, I look very pale right now. So I'm gonna do bronzer real quick. But yeah, I don't think I mentioned that anywhere else, but that was, oh, I couldn't believe it, because I don't think I've ever done that before, but it's also kind of reassuring to know that if worst comes to worst, I am able to get by with just my eyeshadow brushes and my fingers. But yeah, if anyone saw me that day and you thought like my makeup was a little bit not blended very well, that would be why. But no one called me out on it, so I'm going to assume that it looked okay. So yeah, so I did my makeup, and as I was doing my makeup, I was in contact with a few of my friends who I've been friends with them for a while, but we've never like met up in person. So we made plans to get lunch. We were going to just meet up at the Outlet Mall, which is right next to the Rosemont Theater, which is the venue for the concert. So that's what we did. So I went over, I helped my friend check in. I took an Uber over to her hotel, and then I took an Uber over to the outlet. And so that worked out really nice, I feel. It was super quick to check into my friend's hotel. It was, well, once the actual check-in started, it was easy, but they only had one person working the front desk, and she was on the phone with someone when we first walked in, so it took about 10-15 minutes before she was done with her phone call, and then she was able to check my friend in. But that was a little, I don't know. It wasn't frustrating or anything because I've worked similar types of jobs before. My current job, I'm on the phone a lot as well, so I get it. But I always feel bad because I know people who work those types of jobs probably get yelled at a lot. So I don't know. I always feel bad in that way. But yeah, I was able to help my friend check in, and then I went over to the outlet. Like I said, I took an Uber over there as well. And then I was able to meet up with my friends, Danny and Nicole, and it was so much fun to finally like meet them in person, be able to hang out with them. They're both super great. And oh, Nicole actually has a YouTube channel as well, and they are working on this really big project. So I'll link their channel down below if you would like to check them out. I think they're really cool, obviously. Otherwise I wouldn't be friends with them. But yeah, I don't know if Danny has any socials that she would want me to promote. If she does, I'll link those down below as well. But yeah. So we met up and we had food, and then we got, well, before we had food, we'd had to decide where to eat food because none of us were super familiar with the area. So we finally ate food, and we just ended up eating at the food court in the mall. And then after we ate, we went over to the venue. It was about 2, 3 o'clock, maybe later, 3 or 4, I don't know. But we go to the venue and there was already a line forming, not a very long one, but before I was able to join them in line, I had to stop at the ticket office because I originally had a different seat, and then I exchanged my seat for one that was better by a few rows and in a better section. And so when I had initially purchased my ticket, I said I would like my ticket mailed to me because I always like having like a physical ticket. But when I exchanged my ticket, it didn't switch over to the mobile ticket. And so I was freaking out. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I called the venue and they're like, oh yeah, just stop by, we'll see what we can do. So I go to the venue and I go to their ticket office, and the person working there, she's able to just print off my ticket, no problem. It was such a relief. And so I was able to get my ticket. Perfect. Cool. No problem. But wouldn't you know it, I lost my ticket somewhere in the venue, so I don't have my physical ticket anymore, which is a little bit of a bummer. I'm pretty sure I know exactly where I lost it. I know I lost it either in the merch line or right after I got merch, but I don't know where it was, and by the time I realized, I didn't feel like searching everywhere, and so that's a little bit of a bummer that even after all of that trouble of wanting a physical ticket, I ended up losing it. But such is life. And for this concert, I made little, I call them light stick charms, but they're also like zipper pulls. They're not really keychains because they don't have like a keychain clasp or anything like that. They're just a little lobster hook kind of thing. So I made a bunch of those and I was giving them out as freebies. I had some saved for some friends. So that was a lot of fun. I might do that for concerts in the future as well. I haven't decided yet. Here's a photo someone took of one that I made and after they had gotten it. Anyway, I started handing those out as we were in line, and then we, of course, once they start letting people into the venue, we get to the venue and right away we get in line for merch. And I wish I had taken a photo of the line for merch. It was bananas. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I lost my ticket either in the line or getting out of the line after I got my items. But yeah, so Danny, Nicole, and I, we get right into the line for merch, and it wrapped, like if the venue's a square, here's the merch table, they wrapped it, and then it went ooh, and then it went ooh, and then it was like all the way around. It was so, I don't want to, it was just bananas. But I will say the venue staff were very good about getting everyone like in an orderly fashion. Oh, if you want merch, here's the line, and kind of directing the line so it wouldn't be like chaos, which was really nice. Major props to the staff of the Rosemont because that was really, really well done. We get our merch. I got the Photocards set, which comes with 20 photo cards, 2 for each member that was participating in the tour. Unfortunately, there's not an Eric card because he is still on hiatus, but yeah, 2 for each of the other members. Right now, I'm keeping all of them. That might change in the future. I haven't decided yet, but I got that, and then I also got the I also got the tour shirt, which I wasn't originally planning on getting, but I thought, you know, it's my first solo concert, and I was kind of proud of myself because it's something I normally wouldn't have had the guts to do, but I knew that I would know people there, so that was a big comfort. And I didn't mention this to them, but that really helped me kind of overcome my anxiety of being able to go. So yeah, thanks to Nicole and Danny. Like I said, I don't think they know that. I'm not planning on mentioning it to them directly, so the only way they would know is if they end up seeing this, which if you see this, hey, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, after we get... Oh, I forgot to mention. So Nicole and Danny hadn't been to the Rosemont before, and they weren't aware with how small the venue is. And yeah, the venue might actually hold a lot of people, but the way it's set up, it feels a lot smaller. So they happened to see kind of a peek into the venue as we're in line for merch, and Nicole goes, "Oh no, I can't do it." Oh, she ends up like realizing just how good her tickets are, and then Danny realizes it, and they're both like, "No, we can't look at the doors to the venue, like looking in." So they're just kind of like having their backs, like purposely not looking. But then, of course, after we get our merch, that's when I realized after we got our merch that I had lost my ticket. So that's why I know I lost it somewhere in that line, or getting out of that line, because obviously I had it before I walked in, because I needed it to enter. But then we enter the venue. I end up taking a video of Nicole as she realizes the seats, and it's not funny per se. It's a little bit funny, but it's just very relatable, I think, more than anything else. So I'm gonna double check with her and see if she's okay with me putting the footage in. Otherwise, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. And if they're okay with me putting it in, then I'll put like a little clip in.
Why do you say it like that? Why do you say all the way in the front? He said all the way in the front. 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 Oh my God. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This is 13, we're on that side. Oh my God. Not Superstar! Not Superstar! I don't want to go to my seat. Yeah! Let's go! These are our fucking seats. I'm going home.
So after Nicole and Danny went to their seats, I met up with a few more people to give them their little light stick charms, and then I went to my seat. And the person I was sitting next to, she was also going to the concert alone, and she was super sweet. She had gone to Monsta X like the weekend before and gotten her ticket like that day or the day before. She was like, yeah, I decided that I really wanted to go. So she was really nice. It was kind of fun to get to know more people that way. Then, so we talked for a bit, and then people came, and of course the venue ends up filling up. I know the venue wasn't sold out, which was a little bit sad, just because I really wanted the Boyz' first time in Chicago to be a sold out show. But I will say the venue, everyone in that venue was very energetic and responsive, and it's like I was telling a few people, just in my limited experience not performing in the way the Boyz do, like in like the kind of more music side of things, but in like plays and musicals, if the house is sold out but everyone is dead, it's the worst feeling in the world. It's like, what am I doing wrong? But even if it's a smaller audience, like not every seat is filled, but people are responding really well, I would much prefer that. And most, if not all, of my theater friends would say the same thing. So I would imagine it would be the same thing for any kind of performer, whether it be like someone who's doing just music or someone who's, you know, doing theater, whatever it might be. I would think it would be the same. I can't say for sure, but that would be my thought. So I was happy that at least the crowd was very, very responsive and very loud. That brought me great joy. So let's see. We're sitting down, and then the show starts, and they open with, goodness, what did they even open with? I'm having a major brain fart. Maverick, that's what it was. I don't know why my brain wouldn't like think that through, but they open with Maverick, which was amazing. And then they go right into The Stealer, and I do have a video of that, so I'll insert a little bit of that here. insert the full thing because I got the full song. So I'll either insert a bit of it or I'll insert the full thing. Then after that, they go into their next song, which I don't even remember what it was, because as they were performing that song, the next one, someone comes up to me, like next to me in my row, which I thought was very odd because both seats and all the seats in my immediate area were filled. And this person is showing me their phone and they're like, "You're in my seat." And I'm like, "No, this is my seat." And they were like, "No, it's mine." And so I look at their phone and I look at my seat and I'm like, "No." And I show that on their phone, I point and they're like, "You're in 9. And I point at my seat and I said, "I'm in 4. And they're like, "Oh." And I said, "It's on that side, the other, completely other side of the like section." So they end up going and they go to their seat through the other side because it was like only 3 seats in on that side. Whereas otherwise I would have had to go across more people. So I felt so bad, but at the same time I was like very like startled. I was like, "Why are you trying to..." It's not necessarily that I thought they were trying to take my seat, but at the same time I thought, what's going on? And I think the reason why I was so startled and just shaken up by it is because Nicole, when she saw 17, also in 2020, there was this whole thing where someone hacked into her Ticketmaster and like stole her tickets, and then she had to contact Ticketmaster. It was this whole thing. There's a video on their channel about it. Go watch it. It's mind-boggling. But anyway, so when that happened, I just was like, "Oh no, did what Nicole So when that person came up to me and was like, "You're in my seat," I thought, "Oh no, did what happened to Nicole happen to me?" I was just terrified. And then I was also thinking, like, did I steal someone's seat? Like, was there a glitch in their system somehow where they gave me the wrong ticket? But it was fine. It was all good. Anyway. After all of that, then I didn't really take too many photos or videos during the concert. Where I was at, it was close enough where I had a great view of like the stage and the members, but it was far enough back where I didn't, like, there weren't any members like who were really able to see me. So I didn't really record for any like interactions or anything like that. And honestly, I'm just not great about recording during concerts. So yeah. I'll insert whatever photos and videos I have here. So yeah, the entire concert was just, it was so good. And the entire night, the members of the Boyz, I always want to say the Boyz, but then it's like, I mean the members, not just like the group. But anyway, they kept saying the whole night, oh yeah, and we'll be back next year, and next time when we come to Chicago, and yeah, there's a part of that that might just be like, oh, we have to say this because of, you know, make the fans feel good or whatever, I don't know. But as a fan, hearing that is very exciting almost. It's like, oh yes, I will have another chance to see them. Because, let me tell you, getting tickets for this concert was a mess and a half. Because the day they went on sale was when I was still doing the musical. And it was the week we had dress rehearsals. And so I'm in the parking lot of where, because I would always carpool with a few people to where we would have rehearsals for the musical. And so I'm in the parking lot of where we meet to carpool, and I was able to like get into, like, get tickets right away, supposedly, but then it was like loading, not refreshing. And I was like, what the heck? And apparently I wasn't the only person this happened to. It happened to like a bunch of people. And there wasn't a queue. It was very odd. The ticketing for Chicago was done through Ticketmaster, but yeah, like I said, it was very odd because usually when you go to buy tickets through Ticketmaster, they do have a queue, but there wasn't. It was just like, please wait, getting available seats, your tickets, you will be able to get your tickets soon, something weird like that. And so finally, I end up in the car with these other people. Someone else was driving, thank goodness. And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to get tickets. I was convinced that I wouldn't be able to get tickets. And so we're in the car driving, and I'm trying every available seat that I can find, like the closest ones. And it's just, nope, someone else has gotten this ticket. Nope, someone else has gotten this ticket. Nope, someone else has gotten this ticket. And so finally I was able to get one. And oh, it was such a relief. But yeah, that was not a great ticketing experience. So hearing that they do want to come back, even if, yeah, it just might be something that they're like, I don't know, that they're told, oh, you should say this at concerts or something. I don't know. I'm not in the music business in that way. But even so, hearing that, it's like oh, good, maybe next time I will be able to get like a really close seat. Because, like I said, I had a pretty good seat even before I transferred to the seat I finally ended up in. It was pretty good. But I know if, like, I don't know if the area I was in had bad internet, because usually I buy tickets at my house, and I have great internet in my house, obviously. But yeah, I don't know if I was like in a dead zone in that parking lot or what was going on, because it said I had full service, but it wasn't loading anything. But I saw, like I said, I saw a few other people have a similar kind of experience. So I don't think it was necessarily the parking lot or the area. I think it might have just been the actual website, which is unfortunate. I will say also, this was the first concert I cried at. So yeah, because in the Boyz, my biases are New, Kevin, and Q. And there was this moment during Merry Bad Ending, which was like in the first part of the show. Was it Merry Bad Ending? I'll double check what song it was and I'll post it, like, write it on the screen here. But there's this moment as they're singing that song where Kevin is just looking out of the audience, and he just looked so happy and like almost proud, and just, you could tell he was just so grateful to be there. And something about that, just, I lost it. I started crying. I'm like, this isn't even a sad song. They're doing sexy dances on stage, and I'm sobbing. So that was great. Not apparently I'm not the only person to cry during concerts. Well, I guess typically I'm not the person to cry during concerts, but I was that time. So anyway, it was so good, and like I said, I really hope that next time they come I'm able to get even better seats. I do hope they come again. But yeah, that was my experience as far as the concert itself. After the concert, Danny, Nicole, and I, we met up again, and we were just losing our minds. The event staff, because we all met up like in the, I don't know, auditorium space. They're like, okay guys, you have to leave. So then we had to go out into the lobby, and still just losing our marbles. And then they end up coming over to my hotel room because it was so close for just a little bit while like the whole rideshare situation dies down a little bit, because you know, right after events they're more expensive and you have to wait a little bit anyway. So I was like, just come over to my hotel, we can chill. So they came over, and it was really nice to just have that moment with them. And then after that, they went back to their place, and I was planning on getting food, but at the hotel I was at, they give you cookies when you check in. So I hadn't eaten my cookie yet, so I just ate my cookie, and I had some like apple juice that I brought because sometimes my blood sugar's not that great. So I have a habit. I don't do it on purpose. I have a tendency of fainting. So yeah, I brought apple juice. So I drank my apple juice and I ate my cookie, and yeah, that was it for that day. And the next day I just kind of wandered around parts of downtown Chicago. It was a beautiful day, so I really kind of stayed in the parks. So I went to Millennium Park, and then I went to Grant Park, and I got a pretty late start on my day just because I was pretty wiped after the concert, not gonna lie. But yeah, after I just kind of took my time throughout the day, hung out, and then I got some pizza because, you know, you have to have pizza when you're in Chicago. And so I got my pizza, and then I went back to the train station and I took the train back home. And so yeah, that was my whole experience. Let me do my eyeliner real quick so I can kind of show you the finished look of what I did for the concert. Okay, so this is basically the look that I ended up with. I did wear a different red lipstick to the show because I wore a liquid lipstick, so I wouldn't have to worry about reapplying or anything like that. And of course you couldn't really see it well, it was more, and of course once I put my mask on you couldn't see the lipstick anyway, but yeah, I was wearing red lipstick. And then for the eyes, let me just show you real quick kind of the colors I used. In the crease, I used like an orange and also this warm brown and kind of a taupe, I don't know, like a very pale brown to blend things out. I also used that orange all over my lid, and then over it I put this very bright yellow, and then I also put that on my inner corner. I also put the orange and the brown under my eye. For eyeliner, I just used a liquid liner. Today I used a different one than I used at the concert, and I don't like it as much as the one I used at the concert. So I did like a little wing, and then I also did, I don't know if you can tell, let's see, zoom in. So it looks not great today. This side's a little bit better. I did in the crease just a little bit of like a little graphic kind of idea. It looked a lot better the day of the concert. Like I said, today I used a different liner than what I normally do and what I used at the concert. So I did like what I used at the concert more, but that's okay. This is kind of how it ends up looking. And I like it because when my eyes are open and you're looking at me straight on, you can't really see the graphic liner. Well, in this eye today a little bit you can, but I'm blaming that on the eyeliner. It was a little all over the place for me. But yeah, when you look at me straight on, you can't really see it. It's more of when I have my eyes closed more so, and I think it looked really cute. So yeah, that's the look. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this is kind of a different type of video than what I normally do. Although at the same time, what I normally do is, I don't even know what, because I haven't been consistent with uploads recently. Sorry about that. We'll see if I get better at that. No guarantees. At this point, I promise nothing. But either way, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you've stuck through... I don't even know what my brain was trying to say at that moment. So if you stuck with me for this long through this video, thank you. If you want to see more of my face, you can subscribe if you'd like, or you can check out other videos on my channel, whichever. I will link all the other socials below. You know the deal. Like, comment if you'd want to. You don't have to. I think that's everything. I think so. Anyway, with all that being said, I hope you guys are having a wonderful whatever time of the day it is wherever you are. And I hope you're staying safe and you're staying healthy. And I will see you in the next video. I love you guys. Bye! I just realized I forgot to say two things. One, this is pretty much the exact look like I had, like I said. But I also had also had false eyelashes on because I felt like being extra like that. So that was another thing that I had that I decided not to do today, just because not feeling like it. And then also I forgot to mention a few of the members of the Boyz came down with COVID, and I really hope that they're feeling better and they're recovering well, and yeah, I don't know. I hope that they're doing okay. Same with their staff. They mentioned a few of their staff also got it, so I hope they're doing okay. Anyway, I think that's everything I wanted to say. Yeah. Anyway, bye.